Hello everyone.
Hello there.
We are interrupting our series on what the mystics know this week because we are sending out a small flyer and we thought of giving some background information regarding the flyer.
Yeah, so we are interrupting our series for some marketing.
Yes, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, so we have been planning actually for quite a long time a contemplative gathering.
Almost for 7 years now.
Yeah, so we started thinking about this, and we'll explain to you why, in 2019. And we had a whole group of friends that was planning this together, and we had it all the plans, the speakers, the
Pamphlets.
the bookings was open, and then COVID stopped it.
Yes.
And yeah, so it's only now again after this 5 years and our moving and resettling that we felt it now it's time again to raise that dream again.
Yeah, and the thing is, realizing that there's such a need for it, we didn't want to postpone it indefinitely.
No, and yeah, so maybe I was thinking just to, because we are getting interest, people are asking what this will be about. So maybe just to tell you a little bit about what we're planning, and maybe just also for those that are interested, that's following us, that's not so dead sure what we mean with contemplative spirituality, to just revisit that and give some idea, not a definition really, but how we see contemplative, how we live contemplatively.
Yeah, when we started the series on what the mystics know, we mentioned contemplative spirituality and we described it in a sense there as well. But it's something that one often has to come back to, and we want to highlight some issues. The main thing about contemplative spirituality is, last week we spoke about heaven, living heaven now. It is about realizing how seriously God takes us, earth, this life, and how God meets us, lives with us, flows through us, breathes through us in this life and in the ordinary things that we do, in our religious practices as well, but in fixing a car, in knitting, in caring for our pets, anything. So to become aware of the deep meaning and worth of everything that we are in touch with.
Yeah, I think like the Jesuits put it, to find God in all things. And then who is it that that beautiful quote, contemplative spirituality is a long hard look
At what's
at
real.
what's real.
It's Richard Rohr saying that.
Yeah.
So in other words, you become quiet. You become present in this moment, and you are aware, fully aware in your whole being as to what is happening with you now. What is the season? What is happening outside your window? What is happening inside you? So it is being present in this moment, in this world, in this relationship with God. That is the background. And to an extent, it touches on elements in religion in general, but it's also totally different because it's also about overcoming our ego drive to be in control, to steer things, and to force our authority on situations.
Yeah. And I think the practices of contemplative spirituality has a lot to do with that, with surrendering our need to be in control, our need to know, silence, um, so that we can actually go into a deeper place and more a listening stance. Taking nature, taking this created world seriously, protecting it, creativity, living a creative life, and seeing ourselves as co-creators with God. All of those elements will, I think, inform a contemplative life.
That's right. That's right. So, what we've discovered in our conversations with people, in our meeting with people, is that contemplative spirituality is part of such a long tradition. It has always been present. It has been present in the ministry of Jesus. He lived it, and early Christianity started to formalize it and to make it part of the religious practices. But it went underground, especially later on in Western society, where we became much more ego-driven.
And rational.
And rational.
Yeah.
When we become rational, you become almost ego-driven.
Yes, the mind takes.
Yeah.
The
So it went
seat.
underground, and it's almost as if we are dusting it off. We've discovered it again. I think there's a need for discovering it now.
I think it's also a search. It's a you have a void that's not being met, not being filled in your day-to-day life, the way that you've been practicing religion, and you start looking for more. And that often leads people to the contemplative spirituality.
Yeah. So through our conversations and meetings, we've discovered that there are more and more people who are discovering this spirituality. And in their discovery, they often say to themselves, but this is so strange, because in the tradition, it hasn't been that in the foreground, mainstream. This is so strange. I must be mad to think that this is possible, that my life can have meaning, that God wants to live through me in this world. And they struggle with that. And there isn't necessarily communities of contemplatives.
Yeah, or very few.
Especially in rural areas. In urban areas, it's much more general nowadays. You find retreat centers and so on, but in deep rural areas, it's still something really new.
Yeah, and countercultural, counterintuitive.
Yeah. So, we've discovered these pockets of people all over who are missing community, missing conversations around contemplative spirituality, being in contact with other contemplatives. So the main idea around the contemplative gathering here in Wakkerstroom is almost to have a huge retreat where contemplatives from all over South Africa come together and discover there that, so it's not only me in Mafeking feeling this way, there are people in Pietermaritzburg doing this as well.
Yeah.
And there are retreat centers that I can go and visit. And so just...
For people in my own town that I didn't know about.
Yes. So it is really about forging links and relationships and forming community over that weekend. So the basic idea is for us to get together. There will be a lot of time in meeting each other, social gatherings, but also group discussions as to what are our challenges in South Africa at this
And then,
stage?
yeah, the
The
contemplative practices,
Yes.
quiet times, maybe Teze, as Teze service. We are still planning. We actually had the program from 2020 that we are scaling down a little bit. We started out being very ambitious, and we don't know how many people will respond and come to Wakkerstroom, but it's about starting out maybe not as grand as we had envisioned and just feeling our way into it.
Yeah, with the idea that this gathering in August will be an annual gathering.
Yeah.
Wakkerstroom is the ideal setting. It is beautiful, even in winter. It's really beautiful.
And the town is able to accommodate groups of people, big groups of people with wonderful accommodation, restaurants, and venues. So all of that will be made available to you. And yeah, I think we always feel winter is a time for going inward. So we especially chose a date in winter to do this big retreat.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'll see that there's an application or a application fee of 600 Rand, and that would be going towards admin costs, venue hire, speakers. We will have one communal meal or maybe more. We'll see how it pans out. But especially the first evening with a meet and greet. And so the program will be available, I think, quite soon.
Yes.
But just in the meantime, I think for you to be able to save the date, to let us know that you're interested so that we can start to get some indication of interest.
Yes.
And
and just to clarify, that registration fee does not include accommodation.
Yeah.
We'll send out information regarding accommodation, but that you'll have to organize yourself, make contact with the different B&Bs, Airbnbs, or bed and breakfast facilities.
We'll make that available.
Yeah, but that's on your own cost. It's not part of the registration fee.
But yeah, so we are really very excited about it and looking forward also to meeting people that we are communicating with through the social media and that we've never met. So we want to invite you to come and visit, and will be just lovely.
Yes. So more news to follow, but jot down the date, get it in your diary, and keep that weekend open.
Yeah, and maybe just to say that the theme will be belonging.
Yes.
Which has that same theme of belonging somewhere, having a community. We need that. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll talk again next week.
Keep well, everyone.
Bye-bye.